Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about arrogant women and the destruction of man, because we are experiencing multiple generations of extremely arrogant women, and it's destroying the men of Western civilization. And I don't think people realize the dynamic that's going on, the interaction between the variables, and how destructive it really is. But before I get into it, let me say thank you to everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please go ahead, click the subscribe button, click the bell symbol next to it, and accept the email notifications. It'll help me grow my channel, and I would really appreciate it. Now, let's talk about arrogant women and the destruction of men. What happened? When did women start competing with men, and then men weren't allowed to compete back with women? So now you have women stepping forward and saying, we're in charge. And it's like, no, you've just accused everybody of sexual harassment and gotten them fired. Okay? No man will go near you. No man will go near these women. The only man that'll go near these women is like a 20-year-old fool. Nobody wants to stay around an aggressive, arrogant, abusive woman. So what's happened? What's going on? Because if we don't deal with this situation, it's the end of Western civilization. It's happening right now, okay? This is Europe's last stand, okay? Either they recover from the situation that they're facing right now, which is the immigrant crisis, and so-called leaders like Angela Merkel, right? Either they deal with this problem, or Macron in France, or Theresa May in, Britain. How did you guys elect Theresa May? How did you guys, I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it like that because I'm with you. I really am. How did Britain vote for Brexit and at the same time elect someone named Theresa May, who is the biggest effeminate bitch that you could possibly get? You know what I mean? It's like, I'll be honest with you. When people put forward pictures of someone like Angela Merkel or Theresa May or Elizabeth Warren, okay? And they're like, what a great female leader. I want to throw up, okay? I literally feel like I want to throw, like, oh my God, like turn it off. You know what I mean? Like it's a disgusting, like it's an insult. It's like you're taking some saggy, broken, crippled, doting fool and saying, oh, people really can't get any better than this. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. You stand a healthy person next to one of those people and they will shrink. They will cower. They will wilt. And further, okay, I find it disgusting when someone does not act according to their physical stature. I don't like it when a weak, sickly, diseased person walks into a room like they're in charge, and healthy, strong, alert, confident, intelligent people are like, oh my God, it's that old 70-year-old woman that has a lot of money through her family connections and her immorality and her corruption. Wow, that's really impressive. That's not impressive. And it's so much, that's the thing. It's the arrogance of the women. It's the little big man syndrome. How did it happen? Well, you know how it happened. You know that we had generation after generation of men capitulating to women. Women overplaying their hand and complaining and whining, and weak men who want to get together with the women, who want to please the women, saying, yes, dear, a woman would make just as good a leader as a man. Now, am I saying that an individual woman can't be a leader? No, I'm not saying that. She can be. You can be. If you're a woman, you're listening to this video, you want to be a leader, go be a leader. I'm not saying you can't do that. Of course you can. What I'm saying is that we've created this entire generation of multiple generations of incompetent women who are putting themselves forward as if they are the leaders that we should look to. Okay? Now, maybe some of you are hearing this and you're thinking, what does it matter? Leader is a symbolic kind of position. Doesn't matter. If a woman wants to step forward and say she's a leader, that's fine. And in a lot of instances, I would agree with you. Okay? But children need examples. The patterns that we set are the patterns that they follow. So generations of men capitulating to the women because of their sexuality. Generations of women using their sexuality to influence men. Generations of boys being raised by women who have this arrogance. You know, there's a great thing about being a man when you encounter another man, and that is that you can tell who's who pretty quickly. And you can tell if somebody wants to give ground to another man based on their financial status. And the one thing that the man can't do, so let's say that the younger men are deferring to the older man because he has more status, he has more money, he has more power, he has more control. But physically, okay, the older man is just pathetic. And the younger men are very fit, strong, and healthy, okay? You follow me? What the hell do you think is supposed to happen in this situation? Do you think that the younger, healthier men are supposed to capitulate physically to the older, weaker man? In other words, when he comes up to them on the construction site and starts giving orders, are they supposed to take a step back, look down at their shoes, and start to stutter and make excuses? Or are they allowed to stand their ground, look their boss in the eye, and respond to whatever it is he's saying? What's the situation? What's allowed to happen there? Because depending on your answer, it kind of determines where you are on this issue. So if your answer is, oh, they better bow down to the boss, then you've got a problem, okay? You've got a problem in that you don't physically carry yourself with your own stature. You're substituting some external judgments that people have put on this. In other words, like the size of the man's helmet determines the strength of the man. No, it doesn't. Okay, you can have a little weak man with a big giant helmet, and you could have a big strong man with a small little helmet. So it doesn't determine the situation. And if you let it determine the situation, then you become ill. You become sick. Now, you might make a lot of money, right? You'll probably get ahead because, you're going to kiss the boss's ass and you're going to bow down to a bunch of retarded symbols. So this is how unworthy, weak, foolish, emotional men and women get to present themselves as leaders and champions and winners because they have more money. And the reason why they have more money in most instances is because they've compromised themselves, their integrity. People can make more money on welfare than they can working full-time, right? The average single mother, she can bring in about $60,000 worth of welfare, okay? Nobody's going to pay her that. She can work full-time. She's not worth that. She's not worth $30,000 a year working full-time. She's not worth $20,000 a year working full-time. But on welfare and with the various programs available to her, yeah, she can rack in about $60,000 pretty easily. How is that? How is it that a hardworking, honest person will make less than a dishonest, lying, thieving person? How is that? And what do you think will happen if you set up a system that works like that? How about we take the money from the hardworking, honest person and we just straight up give it to the person who feels that they are entitled to it? In case you're wondering, what is the distinction between various groups of people? How do we determine who sits where? They call it a victim hierarchy, right? Well, the victim hierarchy is analogous to an entitlement hierarchy, which is pretty much parallel to the victim hierarchy. So the more of a victim you are, the more entitled you are, the more appropriate it is for you to complain about others and to expect rewards from the system. This is a female system that's been set up. This is a weak male child system that has been set up by men to take care of the invalid, the botched, the stupid, the weak, the unworthy, those who can't work, all right? You run it for generations, and the people within it start to think that they're like special people, okay? The men who capitulate the most to the corrupt system start to walk around like they are the strongest and the most fit and the most healthy men that other men look to and respect. Other men do not look to and respect men who do this. They might admire their money and their ability, to get things done with their money, but they don't necessarily respect those men. So is what people have and what they earn an indication of their character and their status? And the answer is no, not anymore. See, there's the problem, and there's where you have disincentivized the strong, healthy man, and you have incentivized the fat, crippled, obese liar. So that's what you get. A lot of men, I believe, a lot of good men, but younger men, I think that they're of the mind that this is a corrupt, unfair system, that men are treated unfairly, that they're persecuted and manipulated, and that women and people who don't want to work but claim victim status are in fact promoted through entitlement above the hardworking, honest people. That's what's happening. Make no mistake that that's exactly what's happening, that you will get ahead at the workplace based on who you make friends with, based on, the social preferences that you put out there and the groups that you associate with, not your work. Now, if you're okay with getting ahead under those conditions, you go right ahead. In other words, if you want to be a doctor, okay, or if you say you want to be a doctor, and then you come into a situation where, you're a doctor, but you don't get ahead based on your ability to, help people and to cure people, but rather on your ability to, form political relationships within your organization, go ahead, then become, if that's what you call being a good doctor is, go right ahead. It's the same with any profession. You want to be a good writer, or do you want to make a lot of money at writing? Two different things, two different approaches. Would you like to be really strong and effective and capable in life? Or would you like to make a lot of money in life? Because they're not necessarily the same things. You can earn the money through many means, but you can only become strong and capable by becoming strong and capable. Much more difficult. So that's what's going on, okay? You've got 100 botched, weak, stupid, scared people looking at one strong, fit, and healthy person and saying the future of society needs to be run based on our need, the fact that we cannot work, the fact that we are not educated, the fact that we need free living wage and free health care naturally, and we're going to have to tax that one person endlessly. We're going to have to shame and exploit that one person endlessly in order to get the resources to take care of the 100 people. And if you don't agree with that, let's put it to a vote, and let's see how those 100 people vote, and let's see how that one person votes. And we already know the answer to all the, this is not, gee, I wonder what's going to happen. This is, look at what's happening. Look at our current circumstance. So now the question becomes, what should you, the individual, do? And it's a tricky question because on the one hand, you have to be true and honest and have some personal integrity. And on the other hand, if everybody is stealing from a corrupt system and you don't, you're at a huge disadvantage. That's the situation that I think good men are facing right now. So when you encounter one of these people that is like willing to cheat the system, is willing to put forward their victim status so that they can, be entitled to resources, and they don't understand that they're selling out their own integrity and efficacy, both figuratively and literally. If you're like me, it makes you sick. So I believe that's the situation that men are facing right now, that good, honest, hardworking people are facing right now. I believe this is the challenge that we have to overcome. The weakness, the laziness, the dishonesty of the majority of our people. The fact that people don't recognize that there is no such thing as a free ride. There is nothing for free. Somebody somewhere had to pay for it, had to earn it, had to make it, had to build it. So the idea that somebody else is getting that thing for free just means that you've taken it away from somebody else. And if you're of the character that you don't mind to get things for free when someone else had to work for them, then I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want any association with you. It's like the guy's like stepping forward and saying, no, I'm smart. I'm earning more money and doing less work. And it's like, no, you're cheating all the hardworking people is what you're doing. And you're stealing their money and you're pretending like you've earned it. You don't have the strength that comes with, the ability. You merely have the reward based on lies and entitlement. And when I say you, I don't mean you personally. I mean that this is the modern character of man. Well, of woman, actually. Yeah, of women. And the majority of men, or, many men, they adopt it and they run with it. And they're like, yeah, I'm a winner, I'm a champion. And it's like, no man looks to you as a leader. Even you yourself don't look to yourself as a leader. You can't. Don't be a whore, okay? Don't compromise and sell out your values just to get extra fat. It's a hard message, because what's going to wind up happening is the individual is going to keep getting fatter, keep wanting more and more, free resources, moving further and further away from the character that they need to develop in order to become strong, until eventually they have to rely exclusively on the kindness of strangers, and that would be the people that they stole from, right? So I don't feel like helping them out. I don't see it as a viable future. I don't see it as a workable system. The people who won't take care of themselves, let them go by the wayside. Don't take care of them. Let's separate, the good, hardworking, honest people who want to do a good job from the lazy, dishonest, confused, stupid, weak, sick people who just want a free handout. Try to recognize who's who and what's what in this situation and support, your hardworking, honest people when you come across them. And don't support dishonest, weak people who are manipulating a system and destroying the future. So that's how I see it. And that's what I wanted to say on this subject. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate. And join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.